Hey, what is going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today we finally have the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 8, which I decided to title The Whisper War Part 1. Of course, Episode 9 will be titled The Whisper War Part 2. So, I know it's took a while for me to come out with this because I've been honestly working on this for a while. I've been kind of I've redrafted this like 3 times, rewrote it completely because I would finish it and then I would come up with a completely new idea, then I would scrap it, start over, and I keep doing it. I don't know, it's just a lot to this episode, so I really want it to be, better than how it was previously. And I think I created something pretty good, so I'm gonna let you guys know and share it with you guys. This is, of course, the If I Were a Showrunner series. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and all that things, and check out things in the description. If you want to buy any of the products that I have, that would be swell, like my microphone or my headset. If you use that link, helps out the channel a lot. Let's get into this. So, the episode begins with a shot of the radio in Michonne's room of Alexandria. Whispers come barging into the room. They have basically taken over Alexandria. They're all walking through the place, taking stuff, destroying stuff, and all that crap. The groups at Oceanside train with guns and melee weapons against walkers. Daryl and Carol lead the training. Rosita looks over the kids and tells Sadiq she's going to make herself as useful as possible by taking care of the kids because she's obviously not coming to the battle with them. Negan is introduced to Alpha and the rest of the Whisperers at the camp. Alpha makes them tie up Negan and take his weapons and supplies. She asks Negan who sent him. Negan says he's alone and just somehow came across this Walker convention. He asks if Halloween came early or something, and Alpha isn't really amused. Negan starts hitting on her by saying how darn beautiful she is. Alpha is still not amused. Back in Oceanside, Carol is walking around and comes across Ezekiel. They share a chat about everything. Carol says she just wanted her space, but doesn't think she wants her space forever. Ezekiel thinks she's asking if they want to get back together, but Carol remarks it with, if they were living in the past world, she'd be happy to be with him, but not in this world. She says no matter how much they try to make things like it used to be, it never will be. She doesn't want love to hold her back from keeping the people she cares about safe. Ezekiel takes it as a farewell from their relationship. Carol says she just wants them to be friends, like almost best friends. Alpha talks to Negan one-on-one. She asks him about how he survived this long. Negan says he was booted from another group. Alpha asks if he looks to get revenge on that specific group, and Negan says that ain't something someone asks on their first date. Alpha tells him to stop with the way he speaks to her. Negan continues, so she punches him in the face. Beta comes from behind and holds a knife to Negan's throat. Negan is surprised by Beta's look and says, wow, you are one big freak, and calls him, of course, the iconic line, Frowny McTwo-Knives. Alpha asks what his intentions are. Negan just says surviving this shithole of a world, and he doesn't know where he is, and he wouldn't mind a place to sleep for the night. Beta says he can't be with them. Negan asks who the fuck is them. Alpha asks if he wishes to become part of their group. Negan says, I could get used to wearing the skin suit shit. Maggie talks with Michonne about everything. Michonne apologizes for everything they've been through. She says Tara made a pact with the others that an attack on one community is an attack on all. She says the Charter is back in the kingdom. She doesn't want them to be apart anymore, especially after what's happened when she's gone, and she doesn't want them to be ever apart like that again. Maggie and Michonne hug it out, as Maggie says she's sorry too. Beta talks to Alpha in private. Beta says there's been no signs of them anywhere. Alpha says good. Beta also says there's no way they're letting some stranger like that guy into their group. He says he came from the border, as said by other Whisperers. Therefore, they cannot keep him. He could be one of them. Alpha says her decision is final and asks if he's trying to go against her plans to become the new Alpha. Beta bows down and says of course not. Negan comes by and sees this, and he bows down as well and says that was goddamn awesome. He asks Alpha if he has permission to join the group, just kind of like Beta did, in a different way. Alpha is still not amused by his clown actions, but she accepts him. That day, Negan is shown participating in various Whisper activities like skinning walkers, hunting boars, and even playing chess with a Whisperer dude. Negan yells out checkmate as Alpha comes by and reminds him to stay quiet. While chopping wood, Negan is attacked by a walker. No one nearby helps him as he asks or yells for help. The Whisperers say if he is strong enough, he can get out of the problem himself. Alpha drops Negan a knife so he can use it to kill the walker, so he does. She says he earned that. Negan notices a bunch of Whisperers leaving the camp. 2 of them are packed with flamethrowers. Negan says, "Holy shit, can I get one of those?" to Alpha. She says they found a decent amount of military equipment about a month ago on their travels, including a bunch of bombs and such. Alpha says a bunch of them are headed to these people's communities and they will be burning them to the ground. Later that night, Beta orders Negan to sleep on the other side of the camp away from Alpha. Negan kind of mocks him under his breath, but he listens to him. The morning comes as a large group of survivors from the Oceanside community head out. They all say goodbye to their loved ones. The large group, full of named characters in red shirts, head out locked and loaded with guns, melee weapons, and their horses, as well as bombs, of course. The group at Oceanside reach the border. They stand amongst the border with the bombs set up and ready to attack. Michonne, Daryl, Maggie, Ryan, Sydney, Aaron, and a bunch of others stand with carriages set up that they got from the horses as cover. Suddenly, Michonne's walkie goes off. It's Negan. He warns them that they are prepared and that they have sent a bunch of Whisperers to invade all their communities. They will set up traps and destroy the whole place, so when you guys go back, you'll all end up probably dying. Michonne tells everyone this, so they decide to split up the group. For the people who stay at the border includes Maggie, Eduardo, Magna, Yamako, Sydney, Daryl, Michonne, Lydia, Eugene, Aaron, Barbara, Amber, and Sadiq. Of course, some red shirts as well. Communities, the people who are going to go to the communities and make sure that everything's okay. Specifically Alexandria first, because that's where Negan says they went. This includes Ezekiel, Carol, Jerry, Diane, Cal, Alden, Rachel, Ryan, and Anna. And then, of course, the characters that have stayed within Oceanside include Herschel, Connie, Kelly, Luke, Gage, Rupert, Earl, Adam, Judith, RJ, Drew, Alice, Gracie, and Rosita. In terms of named characters, of course, there's a bunch of, people that aren't really named that stayed there. Negan says, according to Alpha, they're going to Alexandria first, since it's the only community not already messed up in some way. Michonne thanks him for the information. Magna and Yamako explode the bombs on Michonne's orders. The explosions are loud and massive. The group get their guns ready as they set up a border at the border. At Oceanside, Judith and Rosita bond a bit as they watch the children playing in the morning. Judith also helps cook a little bit. She goes outside and sees a whole bunch of walkers outside the gate. There's no one on watch to take them out as Judith decides to grab a machete and take them out herself. But she snaps out of it and realizes she'd probably get help. She calls over some Oceanside girls and they come up with spears and take them out. And Judith helps a little bit, kills one with the machete. The groups at the border continue to wait. They wait almost 5 minutes and then walkers start coming through the woods. Daryl asks Lydia if she'll be alright. She holds a Glock and says she'll be fine. Alpha and Beta collect the Whisperers to send them out to fight. Alpha gets Negan and gives him a mask and tells him to act like he's one of them and you'll be one of them. She also gives him a knife. Ezekiel, Carol, Jerry, Diane, Cal, Alden, Rachel, Ryan, and Anna head down the road on horseback to Alexandria. They go insanely fast. They go over plans on the road, including how to attack. At Oceanside, Judith is staying guard with an Oceanside girl. The girl is suddenly struck with an arrow. Judith pulls out her revolver as she sees a bunch of Whisperers approaching Oceanside. They found Oceanside as well, apparently, and they decided to send some of them to attack there. Judith calls for help as they draw in some walkers. At the border, Maggie, Eduardo, Magna, Yamako, Sydney, Daryl, Michonne, Lydia, Eugene, Sadiq, Aaron, Barbara, Amber, and all red shirts stay alert. Walkers begin pouring out of the woods. The groups stand their ground and fire their ammo at the walkers, preserving as much of it as possible. Alpha and Beta stand within the woods and start sending Whisperers into the battlefield, as well as parts of the herd that they have saved up, just not the whole walker herd. Whisperers start pouring into the herd at the border. The groups continue to push against the herd as they start noticing Whisperers within the herd. Sydney uses a sniper within the distance to help spot out walkers. A battle breaks out at Oceanside as Judith, Rosita, Gage, Rupert, Earl, Connie, Kelly, Luke, Drew, and others fight back. They stand amongst the gates and shoot down at them as they notice whispers coming from the woods from the beach as well. The battle at the border continues as whispers start pulling through with their attacks. They attack Michonne as she quickly fights back and kills 3 of them. A bunch of interesting combos are formed. Maggie and Eugene fight side by side. Lydia and Eduardo fight side by side. Daryl and Yumiko. Magna comes in and helps out Yumiko as she gets surrounded. Barbara gets grabbed by a whisper and her throat is slit open. Michonne is fighting a whisper right as she kills him, another whisper from behind her comes up to her. Negan takes out the whisper with his knife whilst wearing his mask. He gives Michonne a look and says, "Look how damn cool I look." He walks off back into the herd and takes out some more walkers. Aaron and Amber take out a whole group of walkers as Aaron is forced to quickly dodge a whisper. Amber shoots the whisper in the head, but a walker comes from behind and bites her on the shoulder. Aaron kills that walker. Ezekiel, Carol, Jerry, Diane, Cal, Alden, Rachel, Ryan, and Anna make it to the outskirts of Alexandria. They scope out the area and see a whisperer at the front gate standing guard. There are also 2 whisperers walking around the outside houses. Ezekiel starts putting together a plan to go around and hop the fence. Carol says she has a better idea. Carol and Zeke go up behind the whisperers and take them out quietly. Carol takes the mask off and puts it on herself. Ezekiel does the same. But Alden says he wants to do it instead, so he takes the mask from Ezekiel and puts it on. He tells Ezekiel to follow through with his own plan, and he'll help Carol. They slowly walk from around the corner, or they reach the front area as the whisperers see them, and he hops down and opens the gate. Of course, Carol knows that the whisperers don't kill walkers, so this is why she thinks this will work. He opens the gate and he goes out and starts walking in the other direction to lead Carol and Alden away. But Alden takes out his machete and slices the whisperer through the back of the head. They walk through the community. They see tons of whisperers walking around, taking supplies, trashing the place. 2 whisperers wield flamethrowers. Ezekiel and the others go around the side and slowly sneak around. Daryl takes out a whisperer with a bow as Cal throws his spear through one's head. Ezekiel sneaks through Michonne's house with Jerry. The others split up. Ezekiel sees a whisperer wielding Lucille outside. He gets ready with his AK-47, and so does Jerry. They get set up as does the others. Carol and Alden make it to the main area of Alexandria. Carol spots Ezekiel in the house. Ezekiel counts to 3 with Jerry, and then they start spraying at the whisperers within the roads, as does the others. The flamethrower whisperers come from around the corner and set some houses on fire, but Diane and Ryan kill both of them without destroying the flamethrowers. Anna and Rachel kill a whole bunch with their Glocks. The group finish them all off together. The border battle continues. Lydia is grabbed by 2 whisperers and dragged across the floor through the herd. Daryl sees this and goes after her. Daryl is forced to run through a bunch of walkers and makes it to them in a little area in the woods. Daryl runs up on the 2 whisperers and attacks them. He single-handedly fights them both off as Lydia gets up and stabs one in the throat. Daryl shoots the other in the head with his crossbow. The whisperers slowly start to retreat as ordered by Alpha, who walks into the herd a little bit. They start to back off whilst others continue fighting. The survivors are forced to retreat to the other side of the field when the herd grows bigger, but they keep fighting them off as it starts raining. It turns into a badass montage of fighting walkers within the rain. Alpha tells all the whisperers that they have some hostages to look after now. Alpha shows Judith, Rosita, Gage, Rupert, Earl, Luke, Connie, and Kelly. They are all tied up and they were taken from Oceanside. Beta gets masks on all of them and brings them to the camp. The survivors finish killing all the walkers. As Michonne says they don't stop now, they charge across the field and through the woods. They slow down as it starts to get quiet. A whisperer approaches them as Yumiko takes the shot into the whisperer's hip. The person falls to the ground and screams, but you can barely hear it. It's more of a mumbled scream. Michonne goes up to them and pulls her sword to the person's throat. Michonne tells them to speak and tell them where the others are. She takes off the mask and sees that it is Kelly with a gag around her mouth and blindfold. She quickly gets help from Sadiq, but the arrow seems to have punctured some important organs because she goes into septic shock and bleeds a lot. Yumiko is crying whilst trying to help her as, well, Kelly dies. The group is quickly surprise attacked by Whispers wielding spears and sticks. A couple red shirts die by the Whispers. The group fight back, but they are quickly outnumbered. Whispers even jump from the trees as well. Amber is stabbed in the stomach, who was bitten anyways, and she looks right at Aaron, who's clearly hurt by her death. Right before it looks over, and it doesn't seem like they're going to get out of this alive, Ezekiel and Aladdin stand holding the two flamethrowers as they yell at the others to run behind them. The group all run behind as Ezekiel and Aladdin let that flamethrower go off, and they light those suckers on fire. They kill all of them within the area. They are all on the floor, screaming in agony as they are on fire. It's all looking good until the flamethrower runs out of fuel, and then a massive herd comes. It's, of course, part of their main herd. The group split up. Michonne, Carol, Daryl, Lydia, Maggie, Eugene, and Eduardo are together as the others return to the border barricade. The ones that I just named before, they kind of went in different direction because of the herd splitting them up. Michonne and them continue through the woods whilst running from the dead. Alpha and Beta regroup with other Whispers at their camp. Negan also regroups with them. Negan sees them taking in hostages and sees Judith as one of them. Alpha tells Negan that she knew he'd survived the first battle. It's nighttime now. Negan says he can't wait to continue his journey through the group. The Whisperers stand watch as others goes to sleep. Negan spots two Whisperers trying to rape a girl. Negan goes over and tries to attack the men, but Beta stops him. Alpha comes over and tells Negan that if she was strong enough, then she would be able to defend herself. Negan says rape is the most messed up thing you can do. Alpha says animals have no boundaries, so neither do they. Alpha brings Negan into private when she starts yelling at her. Alpha tells Negan that some people just aren't strong enough for this world. She thinks about Lydia. She even starts tearing up. She's a little bit embarrassed at the fact that she's crying. Negan cheers her up with his sweet talking and even gets her to say that she thinks he would maybe be a good addition to their team. Negan says, well, maybe, just as he smacks Alpha in the back of the head with a tree branch. Michonne and the others in the woods continue walking as her walkie goes off. Negan tells Michonne to meet her near a river within the woods. They make it there late at night as they come across and see Negan holding Alpha hostage with a knife to her throat. Lydia is mostly surprised by this, as Maggie is too, because she hasn't seen Alpha before. Negan tells Michonne that they have hostages at the back of the camp, including Judith. Michonne is mortified to hear that. Negan says they can't just go rushing in, they have to be smart about it. Carol says, what about what happened last time? Alpha tells them they aren't planning on killing them, but if Beta finds out she's dead, then they will kill all of them. Alpha sees Lydia and tells her she's really sorry. Lydia tells Michonne to let her do it. Alpha keeps trying to talk to Lydia and just keeps saying, I'm sorry, and I should have done better with you. But Lydia takes Michonne's katana and it goes up to Alpha. She's getting ready to cut off her damn head. She struggles and she can't do it anymore because she just cries too much. She drops the katana and Carol comes up, takes the katana and says, this is for everyone you've killed, you dirty bitch. Carol swings the katana down on the back of Alpha's neck multiple times until her head is cut clean off. The episode ends with the group leaving something behind at that specific site. They're heading back to the Whisper camp. They just went a different way. Beta and some other Whispers come across it and see Alpha's head on a stick. A tree branch they found. They stuck it in the ground and stuck Alpha's head in it as well. But she's still a walker, so she's moving her mouth a little bit. Beta is completely in shock, and you could tell he is angry. And boom, the episode ends. So yeah, I had fun writing that episode. That was a good one, and I think this next one's going to be just as awesome, maybe even better, I don't know. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.